Hello, my Days of Our Lives peepsters. Welcome to the show. We're going to do updates, spoilers, and news for Days of Our Lives. We're going to cover what happened this week, Monday, January 31st, to today, Friday the 4th. What's popping in Salem? Is love in the air? Sort of. Okay, so Monday we continue on with the double wedding. When it went off Friday, they had asked if anyone has a reason that these two couples shouldn't be married, and Leo stepped up. So when we got back Monday, and if you remember last week, I told you that I didn't think Leo was going to do anything, devastating, but maybe some little speech or something. So we come back, and I forget what he said, but, he said something, I don't know, I don't remember, I didn't even write it down, whatever he said. But then he gave them their blessings, and the weddings went on. So Gabby and Stefan and Gwen and Dimitri are in wedded bliss now. Okay, Sloan and Nicole are both at the hospital. Sloan realizes she needs to get her hands on Nicole's genetic testing. She did. She went to the hospital to pick up Nicole's results, and she bullied the nurse around till she finally gave them to her. And it said on there were no genetic problems, but it had listed under EJ genetics, and it said no genetic match. That means that the baby is indeed Eric's, unless she's farther along than we thought, and it could possibly be. So I've seen in some of the videos that went through YouTube that someone was saying, could it be Rafe's? That would be something, wouldn't it? But it's been quite a while since her and Rafe split up, so I'm not thinking it's Rafe's. I guess it is Eric's. I'm not happy about this. Of course, they led us to believe this was Eric's baby all along because I don't want Eric to dump Sloan. I love Sloan, and her character in general has been through so much loss and sadness in her life. I would love to see her have a happy little family. And the same thing with Eric. He's always wanted a baby. Now he gets two, and EJ gets left out. I don't like that. I don't think Nicole and Eric should be together, although lots of people think they're soulmates or whatever. I think Nicole just played around too much. I mean, she has all these good men, and she always ends up cheating on them or something. So, I don't know. I mean, I hope that she's able to have her baby and everything's fine. But, I don't know what's going to happen for Sloan and Eric. Okay, so that's what's going on Monday. There's a lot of the hospital stuff and all that crap. We move on to Tuesday, where Paulina prepares for Abraham to come home. She is so excited. God bless her little heart. And here we go. Paulina again. I saw her, and this was on Tuesday. She walked around the couch. I think she was talking to Theo. And there we got a little sneak peek at her sneakers again. So, she doesn't wear any stockings, and I do not blame her, or anything like that with her pretty little fancy dresses. She's comfortable, and she should be. But I love it when I see her sneakers. It just reminds me that I need some new sneakers. No, it reminds me that it's a show, so I really don't like to see the sneakers. Okay, I'm not a fashion person. Like I said, when Gabby's gorgeous shoes was slinging around the big party where Stefan was supposed to be killed, it really stuck out to me. Well, there are some fashion things that stick out to me, and when I think something's god-awful ugly, that sticks out to me. But I am 63 years old, and maybe what I think ugly, these younger people don't think that's ugly. And this is pure taste, but they have had Marlena, because the scenes go from one day to another. So it's not unusual to see some of them wearing the same clothes that whole damn week. And you think, man, take a bath, put some clean clothes on. But that's drug out into the same day generally. So, Marlena has been sporting all this week this jacket that looks like just a snakeskin. It's gray. It reminds me of some of the men's boots, the gray snakeskin boots. And, of course, I'm not a fan of snakes, but this is god-awful ugly. It is the ugliest jacket. It rates right up there with some of them clothes they throw Belle in. Oh, it's hideous. It's hideous. And it doesn't blend well with her. So, I'm going to say that. We got Paulina's sneakers, which I think all of them should have sneakers on. You know, if it's not showing your feet, and even if it is showing your feet, who cares? Who cares? I mean, I've gone to church with a real pretty skirt on and sneakers because of my back and stuff. So, I mean, nobody cares. No, I care. But, something else we've seen this week is Chanel was in the most beautiful little two-piece outfit. It was pants and had like one of them little crop tops that shows your belly and a real pretty little jacket. I think it was pink or purple. It was gorgeous. Whoever does Chanel's wardrobe has her to a T. That girl wears some awesome stuff. I bet the same person that does her wardrobe does Gabby's. Gabby's always looking great, except for that damn ugly-ass wedding dress. Her and Gwen both wore the ugliest dresses I've ever seen in my life. Where'd they get these things from? Now that's just me. You know, and because they have so many different wedding dresses, everybody's got different tastes, but girl, they were not flattering to Gwen or to Gabby. Alright. Purple. Chanel's outfit was purple and gorgeous. Gorgeous. Of course, she's a gorgeous girl, so anything she wears is gorgeous. Not saying that Marlena isn't. She is. But that gray snakeskin, man, just throw her in the pit, why don't you? It was not flattering to her tones and stuff. It just wasn't. I don't know what they've got going on over there. The fans I've been skimming through the groups. They are bent out of shape, cussing and everything else. They think this Abraham story was just about as stupid as the devil. You know, they're sick of it. People are complaining like crazy about Days. I hope they don't get a bunch of bad ratings. And then, of course, Peacock is raising their prices. When I first got Peacock to watch Beyond Salem, it was $3.99 a month. Yes, it was. It was the cheapest streaming service, and I advertised for it. You know, I was saying, you know, it's cheaper than any other service. You know, $3.99 a month. Within just a couple of months of them moving Days over there, they cranked it up to $4.99 a month. Now I just got something in my email the other day that it went up to $5.99 a month. And I got the same thing from CBS, Paramount Plus. They moved theirs up. So everybody's going up to $5.99 a month. You know, I don't think these people realize you can actually get a movie station for what they're charging people. So I'm going to have to do a video about Peacock because they do not start the show at 6 a.m. Might be 6:03, sometimes 6:05. Last week it was 6:09, 6:10. You know, and I give a few minutes, you know, because I've noticed with my phone and another digital clock, you know, they might be off by a minute. You know, but when they're at least 6:05 or longer, you need to quit advertising that you're going to air it at 6 a.m. because you're lying. I'm really getting fed up with them, so I see why so many people complain about them. I'm sorry, but Tuesday was all about me paying attention to people's clothes. So Kristen and Brady are ordered to go to court about custody of Rachel, and the judge is just disgusted with Brady, and she gives full custody of Rachel to Kristen. Kristen has been trying to be very easy to get along with because Brady held all the cards. Well, you know, and the judge was saying all this stuff that Brady had been doing lately. And he's like, but you don't understand. She's the one. Shut up, Brady. I'm sick of him. They could take his ass on off the show. Really. I thought when he was holding that gun on Kristen and the way he treats her, and I know she's done horrible things, tried to kill people, let people die, whatever, but she is a good mother. And most importantly, her daughter loves her. It's not even one of those situations where her daughter's mad at her, doesn't like her, or any of that. This was just... I think Kristen deserved custody. She deserves a go at it. Brady thought he was King God over here or something. Oh, screw him. Well, my last name's Brady. I can do what I want. Yeah, do this, man. I don't know. I'm sick of him. I'm sick of his character, where they've taken him. He used to be so reasonable and smart, and now he gets all crazy because he can't control everybody. Now, he did a good thing, hooking up with Kristen to try to get the lily for the gals. Now, that was dirty of Kristen, but would she have actually let them die? Well, she did. But someone stole the orchid from her. I'm not going to lie. Anyway, she was in court, and she just had came from the wedding. So she had on this gray, shiny dress. And I'm going to tell you, there was some kind of wire ring that went through it, and she put it on around her head, probably. Almost like a noose. That reminded me of a coat hanger. A coat hanger dress. And it was silver. And she's so pale, it was not flattering. I don't know who was doing all this day. But it was god-awful hideous. I can't think of anyone else that would wear that piece of crap. It was ridiculous. Anyway, judge not happy with Brady. He gives custody to Kristen. And that's the way Tuesday ends. Wednesday, Sloan and Trask. They've been showing Trask. She's more human. She's more personable. And I like seeing the personable side to her. They shouldn't just stick her with the bitch role and leave her be. Even Megan DeMera had some good lines. So her and Sloan are confiding in each other, and she almost told Sloan about how she thinks Eric might be Nicole's baby, but she doesn't know for sure yet. Well, she does now, because she got into the test results. She's just assuming that it's Eric, and it should be. Okay, Nicole and Eric chat about Sloan getting the test results. She said she went by to get them, and she ended up with Nicole's results by accident. And she ran into Nicole at the hospital. That was not by accident. But she told Nicole, they just gave her results, and Nicole knows that Eric and Sloan was having the same genetic testing done as well. So I think that's great if that truly is a real thing, that you can have the genetic testing to know ahead of time if your child is predisposed to things. Well, of course they are predisposed to a lot. That's why they do it. Nicole and Eric chat about Sloan getting her test results, and Eric did not know that Nicole she had gotten them by accident, and he was real aggravated about it. Like, he went home and he's questioning Sloan. Why didn't you tell me? And she's like, why? What difference does it make? And he's like, I don't know. He was just felt like she was keeping something from him. Eric's a little bit controlling his own damn self. Anyway, Paulina gets Abe home, and he's saying, it's really a nice apartment. And she's just talking to him, trying to remind him of things. Theo's there. All these people. Chanel talks to him right before they release him. And he's being real friendly with them and getting to know them. But he's got it in his head that Whitley is his wife now. But anyway, for some reason, Paulina tried to lay one on Abe. Just a kiss. He's her husband, and she thought he was dead. And he's like, whoa, what's going on? He freaked out bad. So Patch and John had visited Abe before he left the hospital. And he didn't remember them, but they were telling him, we're your best buds. You need anything, pal. Here's John Block. Pal, you need anything, you call us, pal. You call me. Patch is like, it's right, man. Anything you need, we're here for you. We're your bros. Doc, you know. Oh, I just cracked myself up. Anyway, so he Paulina's apologizing. She's like, "Oh, I'm just so sorry, Abe. I moved too fast. And he was like, "It's all right, it's all right." And she's like, "I just want you to be comfortable and remember, our lives and all this." So Abe ends up, when Paulina's in another room or taking a shower, who knows what the hell she's doing, he ends up calling Patch, I think it is, and tells Patch that he needs someplace to stay. It's not working out with Paulina. So Patch comes over to get him, and Paulina don't know because Abe don't tell her. And when he does tell her, she is heartbroken. And, Abe's trying to explain to her, it's nothing personal. I feel like I need some space and some time. And, Patch offered anything he could do to help me. Well, I need a place to stay for a little bit. So Paulina was heartbroken, but she did understand. It just really hurt her feelings. And I just wish her and Abe could get a little bit more happiness here. So Thursday, Eric, I think he was walking around with a little pair of booties or something a few days. He was going to tell Roman and Kate that he's going to have a baby. But I didn't see the booties later. I'm not sure what happened. Well, Sloan had something to do. Go to the hospital and get Nicole's results. And she's just such a beautiful girl. I love her. Roman is not happy about Sloan and Eric having a baby, and he lets that be known to Eric. And it is because, she's Colin's sister, and Colin messed up his best friend Abe and wreaked havoc on Salem. So, Kate talked to him after Eric left, and, she told him, what difference does it make if Eric sees something good in her? So, he is kind of coming around, but he's not a big fan of Sloan's. Chad ends up having a conversation Thursday, with EJ about Alex and how he's just honing in on his woman and his life. And EJ gives him some pretty good advice. He's like, you've got to put a stop to this man. You've got to put down some boundaries. You can't let him keep doing this. You got to fight for your woman. And Chad's like, for once, I think you're right. I so love the DeMares. I love the DeMare brothers. I just love the DeMares. They're all such unique characters, and the people who play them do it to a T. So I love them all. Anyway, he's like, "You're right. I'm gonna go." And he's like, "Well, where you off to?" And he's like, "I gotta go take care of this. I'm gonna go see Alex." So he goes off to see Alex, and Alex, wouldn't you know, he's over throwing back a beer with the Stepster. Yeah, Stephanie. Stephanie is just so sweet and good that she doesn't see the worst in people. And she definitely has a soft spot for Alex, because she knows how much he cares about her. So, I forget what he came over for, but it seems like Stephanie invited him to he brought a bunch of food over and said, since y'all took me out to dinner and fed me for a few nights, I brought a bunch of food for us. And he brought it for all three of them to eat. So she's like, well, I'm waiting for Chad now. And he said, well, can I wait with you? And she said, yeah. So they're throwing back a beer. Meanwhile, here comes Chad. He's all pumped up on EJ's advice. I'm going to put Alex in his place. So he walks in the door, and sure enough, there's Alex sitting on the couch drinking a beer. And he's like, Alex. So he has some words with Alex. Stephanie's in the bathroom or somewhere. I don't know where she is. She's in the apartment, but he lets loose on Alex. And he's like, you're going to have to stop. I want you to stop coming over. Stop coming over with no shirt. Taking a shower. Asking us to pick a shirt. Blah, blah, blah. Stop it. And he's like, I don't want you doing this. You know, I know what you're up to. Alex assured him, you know, so you don't want us three to be friends? And he said no. So Stephanie come out, and Alex just played it off and said, well, I'm going to get going. And Stephanie's like, but you brought all this food. And he said, you all go on, enjoy it. I don't want any. I'm just going to go. And Chad was like, well, no, go on and have dinner with us. And Alex is like, no, man, thanks, but I can't. So see, Chad was testing him, and he passed the test. I felt a little bit sorry for Alex, but not really. He really is. You know, I don't like the way he came over and just insinuated himself into their lives in the first place. I'm really fed up with Alex's character, and of course, the other dude he played. So I'm not a big fan anymore if they don't change his not of him personally, but the characters that he's playing. If they don't change him up back to being a regular nice guy, then he needs to let go of Stephanie and move on with his life. So, that was going on. So Alex is chilling with the Stephanie. EJ tells Chad to fight for his woman, and that is what he did. Okay, so we see Harris get settled into Bayview. He was going to be released from the hospital, but he told Marlena he just didn't feel comfortable yet. He wanted her to admit him to Bayview, to just give him more time to make sure he's good and clean from Megan's fryings, you know, when she fried him and then fried him back. He's toast, basically, is what he is. Pop him out of the toaster. So, he's in Bayview, and who does he run into? Eve. Eve is in Bayview, and she doesn't really look well, but I realized what it was is she's aged so much since the last time I seen her. She's still just a beautiful lady, but, you know, you can tell that she's older. She doesn't look like she did. And she seems like being in Bayview's really helped her. Apparently, her and Harris had some odds over the years in high school, and he did some things to her, and he was apologizing to her while they were in Bayview, and she told him, you know, she's moved on, and you never know about Eve, but she seems like she's a changed woman. I hope for her sake she is. So, and Alex, by the way, agrees to back off with Chad. Okay, so then we go to Friday, which is today. How many minutes have I been talking? 22. Okay, so today, Wendy and Tripp had a lovely night planned in a hotel room. Somehow, the rooms got messed up because Gwen had said she was moving out, and they thought that room was going to be empty, even though Leo was still staying. So the hotel gave Tripp and Wendy Leo's room. Well, he comes in, and he's all drunked up from the wedding, and he ends up sleeping in the other bed because they can't seem to figure out what's going on, and he's drunk anyway. So that ruins Wendy and Tripp's romantic evening. Tripp wakes up with Leo in the bed next to him. Leo was supposed to be in the other bed, but you know how Leo is. Dimitri and Gwen are on the honeymoon, and Gwen is just so happy. And I have to say, I don't think I've ever seen her so happy. Not even when she was marrying Xander. You know, she's feeding him a little muffin, and then he's feeding her, if you know what I mean. So, Gwen, that's not right. Nicole and Chloe are having lunch in the square. And she, you know, Chloe's being caught up with Nicole. Nicole tells her about Sloan's pregnant now and with Eric's baby. And, you know, she's like, you know, when did that happen? And she said, well, when Sloan decided she needed something to hold on to Eric with. You know, and Chloe, the voice of reason, is telling her, well, you're having EJ's baby, so you really shouldn't care who Eric's having babies with. And Nicole went over to get something, and in up walks Eric. And what's he been doing? He's been to the jewelry store buying Sloan an engagement ring. And it's gorgeous, of course. So he's showing Chloe and getting her opinion, and she's like, it's just beautiful. So Nicole's walks up and she says, "Oh no, you're gonna marry her?" You know, she just had like an attitude bad. This is why I just don't want Nicole to be happy. She wants to have every man in Salem under her thumb to when she wants to be with them. You know, I'm done with Nicole's character. I never really liked her character a lot. I mean, she's had her moments, her character, of course. So Sloan ends up talking to Trask, and she confides in her, and she tells her that Eric is Nicole's baby daddy. You know, Trask assures her it's her secret. She's not going to tell anybody. We'll see about that. So Dimitri ends up sneaking off over to Leo's room, and they're being consenting adults. Believe me, they were consenting, all right. And they're in there just hooping it up. And he done got hooped up from Gwen just a couple hours prior to that. And Gwenny's knocking at the door. And that, I think, is how it went off today. I can't think if there was anything else. Not that I can recall. And that's a wrap for Salem. Days of Our Lives, Days Daily Dose TV. Subscribe if you haven't. Big Brother season has started, so I will be posting probably daily on Big Brother. That's just a 3-month show. I do it every year. So, you know, don't get confused or leave me. And I will see you all in Salem next week. Have a great weekend, everybody. And let's stop this